What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Whalen. He's Jeff Erickson. We're for RotoWire, talking fantasy baseball for the 2025 season. We got our expert here with 3 first basemen he is fading in his 2025 drafts. Jeff, I want to start out with somebody you got to pay up for in Bryce Harper. You often see him go inside the top 20. Not paying that this year?
I'm not paying that. I love Bryce Harper. I think he'd be great as a mid-third round player. Unfortunately, he's the second round player right now. And that's just, I'm not really going to pay that price. In the RotoWire Online Championship, his average pick is 21.21. He's usually the first pace number 2. I would prefer his Freddie Freeman over him. I think I prefer Matt Olson over Bryce Harper as well. Harper is going to run a little bit. That is one thing that is in his favor, but he's dealing with an increasing number of injuries, including the elbow injury that limited him to DH duty in previous years, a hamstring injury that really limited him for a good stretch last year. And he also went through a big homerless drought last year. I think these things are happening a little bit more frequently. It's age happens sometimes. He's been healthier than Mike Trout, who they came up at the same time. That's why I compare the two. But you're starting to feel that effect. So am I paying a second round price, a mid-20s pick on Bryce Harper? No, I am not.
Bryce Harper going as high as 12 of late in the NFBC. Is there just a Bryce Harper name tax, Jeff, that you have to pay because he's Bryce Harper?
A little bit, sure. But then again, I think, most of the competitors in the NFBC, which is where I usually draw my ADP from, are pretty savvy. Yeah. Just, I think there's a little too much risk for the price.
All right. Number 2 on your list, we have, this must have been tough, Jeff, a Cincinnati Red. You're fading Spencer Steer.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder injury. This one's pretty simple. And I think it's pretty bad. The fact is, it bothered him at the end of the season last year. He had all offseason to recover, and he's still not ready to throw at the start of spring training. Hasn't thrown a ball yet in spring training. They're talking about maybe starting to throw early in March. I worry about him missing time to start the season. I worry about him being able to run. Sometimes the sliding can jostle the shoulder, and that bothers me a little bit as well. So I've seen him start to slip in drafts. I think I even commented on Twitter about how he is slipping in one particular draft, and he finally went about 7 rounds below ADP. ADP is and this is where you need to filter for dates when you look at ADP. If you look at the default ADP in any draft room, and it doesn't matter the platform, you're going to see a much higher rating on Spencer Steer than where he's truly going right now. Make sure to filter for dates. Look at the information on Steer. Make your own decision, but I think you're going to get less playing time and fewer stolen bases.
So if you're looking down the board at first base, Jeff, you may be intrigued by Michael Busch, now of the Chicago Cubs. And I know you like Ryan Mountcastle in that same range. What is it that's keeping you away from Busch?
For Michael Busch, I think it's a cap on his upside a little bit there in 2 different ways. One, just on his own ability, and 2, the fact that they brought in Justin Turner, the Cubs did, which is going to limit Busch's playing time. Busch will almost never see a left-handed pitcher, and that might be good for his batting average, but it hurts our counting stats. It hurts our number of plate appearances there. And I think Turner will probably play against some righties as well. It might, if Turner is hot and Busch is not, you might see him sit a little bit more often than you would have otherwise. So, if at first base 20, I'd prefer Nathaniel Lowe. I'd prefer Tyler Soderstrom. I definitely prefer Mountcastle. So I just think that you got a player who doesn't have those negatives against him versus a player that has his upside capped.
There we have it. Nice and quick. Jeff Erickson's 3 first basemen. He's not all that interested in drafting this season. Bryce Harper, Spencer Steer, and Michael Busch. Go check out rotowire.com/try. Free access to everything on our site. And make sure you're subscribed right here at the RotoWire YouTube channel.